Yo! Hey Quingle, hey Tommy, hey Lemon, hey Joybat, hey Yuna, hey October, hey Jasper, hey Zoo Nyar Riff. Darktail book preview? Oh shoot, Darkleaf. Oh, I forgot to finish reading it. I read the first 2 chapters. I read the preview chapter, the prologue chapter, and the chapter 1, but it came out on my vacation and I didn't have really great internet or a lot of free time, so I forgot to read the rest of it. But I watched, or I read the first 2 chapters. Hope my vacation was fun. It was super fun. Super fun. We went to the Smoky Mountains. I went tubing down the river. I went caving. I went to a corral. I went putt-putting. I went go-karting. I went hiking. We went swimming. You like the Dark Tales Judgment preview? They finally canonized Raven Barley. I did see that. I didn't actually read that, but I saw it. Somebody sent it to me. Did you manage to grab any of the new merch? A merch? The bot is my bot, Kitsu. You can ask it. It has a couple of commands for some really frequently asked questions. I don't think so, Yuna. Honestly, I think you guys might know more than me, so I don't think we'll talk about it that much on stream. But it doesn't seem like it. My previous cross-collab items are now free for all backers, so... But yeah, we probably will... I'm not exactly sure what happened quite yet, but... Oh, I haven't gotten any of the Bonkers toys. They're not exactly my style. Alrighty, we're gonna work on this again. While we're listening to some nice Pikmin music. Let me remember. Okay. Yeah, I was on vacation when everything happened, so I was only told briefly. So, and also I think it happened on Twitter, and I am not on Twitter, so you guys probably know more than me. Yeah, I don't like blind boxes that much, so unless there's a way to be able to buy the entire thing all at once, I don't usually go for blind boxes. The completionist bones in me quiver in fear. I'm not a huge Gamba type person. But yeah, I read the first 2 chapters of the Darktail Judgment preview. Seems like he is going to have a love interest, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be Sleek Whisker, so Monkey Paw does curl a little bit, but... And it does seem like they're going to try to make him a sympathetic villain, which, not a super huge fan of. And it seems like they retconned him to just go into the Dark Forest immediately instead of Ashfur inviting him in. Come on in, dude. The door is open. Only want 2 characters specifically. I'm not a huge stuffed animal person, period, so... But... I just don't think the quality is that great. I don't know. They're just not for me. The fan community right now is creating much more, like, quality and interesting things for me. I do enjoy the minis, though. But the minis are designed by a fan. So I do like them. I wish the blind boxes had codes on the bottom. I think that defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I know that sometimes you can buy... Well, this is what I So sometimes you can buy an entire box all at once. However, apparently the Bonkers Toys ones, there's a design that's not in every single box. I think it's like Spotted Leaf or something. So just buying an entire box all at once does not guarantee you all of the designs. I don't know. I don't agree with the concept of blind boxes. Getting the minis lately. I think you could see through the boxes in Series 1, maybe. I probably won't be live for too long today. I do have another obligation, so I probably will only be live until like about 4 p.m, so maybe for like another hour and a half-ish. I know that people have asked previously in chat before, like, how I deal with burnout or like art block, and previously I said that I don't really get it, but I have burnt myself out a little bit. I have not drawn since last Thursday, or 2 Thursdays from now, so I am dealing with a little bit of burnout. I've just been working way too hard, I think. But hopefully I can get over it quickly. Let's see. And then the leaves. I did work for the talent Kickstarter, and now I'm just doing art fight. Yeah, I feel it's been hitting me pretty hard. I'm glad I didn't do art fight this year, because I genuinely don't think I would have done any. Well, I never do art fight, but I don't know. It happens to us all. You've been crushing it pretty good on art fight? Ooh. How's everyone doing on their art fight? I shall absorb some of your energy. What are the team? Are they pretty much tied right now? Came up. I abandoned art fight. I feel like that would happen to me too. I gave up. Find MAPart's more fun. One of the least productive art fights I've had. Couldn't do art fight. Aw. I understand all of your guys'. It seems like a pretty busy time of the year to do art fight, personally. I guess it's because it's in the summer, so they do it during the summer, where a lot of people do have a lot of extra time, but I'm actually doing the best I've done. Wow, I'm glad somebody is setting some records. Done 22 attacks, all rendered full bodies. Congrats. I'm sure everyone really liked that. Okay. There's lots happening on stream. Okay, that's just a regular old in-between. How do you join? Usually find open applications on YouTube. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. So like the video that I linked in the chat, the pinned link is a map call where you can apply in the comments, or sometimes it's through a Google form or anything. I know that Google Forms are pretty popular nowadays because a lot of comments get lost on YouTube. So it's easier to make sure nobody kind of gets left behind if you do a Google form. But you find an open call and you apply. Okay, what about the other leggy? Does the other leggy need to move? No. "17 attacks, 3 of them are friendly fire." Hey, tiger. Leg. Super adorable attack yesterday, even though it was done by a beginner. I want to print it out and put it on my wall. I feel like you should. If it makes you happy, then you can see it every day. I'm animating your tawny pelt. Good luck. I feel like she's a pretty difficult design to animate. I hope she's okay for you. Hey, Dafu. Good practice for animating markings. Yeah, the markings on her body are definitely, but she also has freckles, which are very, very hard to animate. Okay. I should know. I'm doing it right now. And then she has her nose. And then her. She does have a lot of markings. Oh, I didn't draw her. Okay. Am I behind? Okie dokie. 3. Actually, I think what I need to do first is this one kind of circles up. Okay, it stretches out. So let's stretch her out. This one kind of points into... Am I caught up with all the books? Yes. I have not read the preview for Darktale's Judgment that dropped last week. It dropped when I was on vacation, and I haven't had the time. I kind of forgot about it until today. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it kind of circles up, actually. And then is the tail... I believe the tail is light, so it needs a line there. She has white paws. She has stockings. And then this one hits the right here. And then this kind of goes like this. That's the hardest marking. Then I think the only thing on her face that needs lined is that muzzle, the muzzle marking and the freckles, so that's good. Okay. Hey, Hollow. Yeah. The map poster added a couple of extra things to the Leafpool. Makes her really cute. Like the little leaves behind her head and a couple more freckles and these little cheek fluffs. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, Holly, but I know that the Shoptoon suspended the project. She did it herself, so I think something happened. I don't know. Have I ever tried drawing cats realistically? I have. It's fun. It gets kind of old for me sometimes, but I do really like drawing cats realistically sometimes, every once in a while. I usually use a lot more references, like photo references that are like long-haired or short-haired specific. But, yeah. I mostly just do a lot more referencing when you're drawing realistically, in my experience. Would you agree that there's a Warrior Cats art style? I mean, I don't think that there's a specific art style, but I would say as somebody that goes to conventions and can kind of spot when I think that a person would have Warrior Cats art, then yeah, probably. Putting hair on cats is kind of a dead giveaway that it's Warrior Cats in my personal experience. Eyelashes? Well, doesn't the Sailor Moon cat have eyelashes? Maybe not. But yeah, I think just... No, because, like, aristocrats and stuff like that, I think, have eyelashes. I guess the aristocrats kind of have hair, too. One of them has a little ponytail. I don't know. I guess I don't really think about if there's a specific warrior style much. Okay, this one is the one where the foot comes in. SSS Warrior Cat style. Yeah, I think like having more anime cats is probably... And also I've had people come up to me like when I'm selling at conventions and be like, this looks like Warrior Cat. So there's definitely like a style that people associate with Warrior Cats. Whether or not you can actually like put a finger on it, whatever that style may be, my artwork does hit it. As does others. I can only speak from my own personal experience, though. Okay. I do think that there are design traits. I mean, obviously the sticker stars for leaders is a very obvious Warrior Cat design choice. Although, again, I think, doesn't Sailor Moon's cats have, like, the moon on the head? Hold on, I gotta look this up. I think it's because, wasn't Alley Cat Nia, like, inspired by Sailor Moon a little bit? Hold on. Sailor Moon cat. Yeah. And they have eyelashes. But they don't have hair. They have eyelashes, but they don't have hair. Eyelashy, the sticker. My art shows up on Google Images. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I get a lot of people that haven't thought about... I have like a couple of pieces with designs that are over 10 years old, so I'm sure that they kind of like... If somebody did watch something about Warrior Cats with that design, that might also... But also, I just have pictures of cats in the woods and stuff like that, and I think a lot of people just also just think cats in the woods equals Warrior Cats. Which is fair. They are right. Cats in the woods are warrior cats. Although I don't believe that all cats in the woods would be warrior cats. You get mixed up with old designs and Geckozillas. I'm not gonna lie, that happens to me too. I think that both of our designs were used interchangeably, and both of them work very well with each other. And so sometimes I also get mixed up. I know that Gecko does the leader marks, which is a really cool concept. And they have, I think each of the medicine cats have their own little herb after they get their full name, which is a really cool concept. Okay, I don't think there's gonna be... Yeah, that's just gonna be completely white or cream colored. Trying to decide... I think this needs right there. And then that goes like that. I don't think I ever watched Sailor Moon. I think my first anime was probably Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, no. It goes down to the bottom of her eye. And then this one. Little heart. Okay, and now this one. Man, I really decided that I didn't have to draw all of the markings, did I? Didn't I? Oh well. Chalk it up to past me. Leaving more work for future me as always. How do I move from frame to frame? I am using the the comma and period buttons, but I think I set that up in the keyboard shortcuts. Can I see what it looks like so far? Yeah, give me 1 second. Yep, so I'm just cleaning up those frames. It's all animated already. I'm just cleaning them up and getting ready for color. There's like wind that starts blowing halfway through the shot. Does Sonic count as an anime? I have no idea. I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh shoot. I think this one is... I am cause you trained... I am what I am cause you trained me. Okay. So yeah, she's got her mouth like still closed. Where'd my music go? Favorite Warrior Cats character? Today I will pick... I'll pick Blue Star today. Since you picked Tiger Claw, I'll pick Blue Star today. Oh wait, these ones are lined with the dark brown. I think my favorite is Firestar. Yeah, some of you guys have very obvious favorites. And that is not a bad thing. Man, I need to read that teaser. I completely forgot to do that before stream. I said, oh, I have until Tuesday to read it. And I just haven't been... I haven't really had time to stop and smell the roses in a couple weeks, I feel like. Life's coming at me a little quick. Alrighty. Where did my music go? Can you guys hear it? There we go. Rocket Star, White Storm, Shadow Sight, and Deathwing. I feel like White Storm is definitely, at least in my opinion, he's kind of a bit of an underrated character. For me personally, I always forget how much more of a role he plays in the first arc than like Lionheart does, who dies in the first book. And he's such a nice, calm character. He is definitely a little underrated in my opinion. I mean, as underrated as a first arc character can be, obviously. Not many people talk about him for just how much of a... Don't make me pick between any of them. That's how I feel with my favorites. I have like a handful of favorites that I can probably count on 2 hands, and none of them are like any better than the others. They're just all together for me. Like they're all in their egg carton. And I keep them nice and safe. Let's see how many frames I can get cleaned up in 2 hours. It's been about 40 minutes. You're currently on the New Prophecy Moonrise. Are you reading the book, or are you just checking out the graphic novel? I liked Moonrise on my first read. I hope you enjoy it. Reading it. Well, I hope you really enjoy it. I think it's definitely lost a bit of its punch throughout the years. For various reasons, but... Working on a part while you're watching this. Let us be productive together. You're at the 5th book of A Vision of Shadows. The 5th book is one of my favorites from that arc. I like A River of Fire a lot, actually. I think it's, I think it's pretty solid. She's not that interesting to you. Yeah, I never really liked her that much in the New Prophecy. I do like Stormfur a lot. Well, I kind of like both of them. I honestly really like their dynamic. I think Stormfur being like a protective brother makes sense for the way that they had to grow up in RiverClan with just the 2 of them. And he sees her kind of like fall in love with somebody else and kind of feels like he is losing the cat he cares about the most. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like Stormfur, but I always liked him. I like the protective big brother archetype, or the protective sister. Just the protective sibling archetype is one of my... I relate to it. I feel like sometimes it's hard to see when you're like super close as kids and then like you guys start going your separate ways. It is kind of a hard thing to get adjusted to. Shattered Sky is my fave main series book. It is a good book. It is a good book. You like 2 of my OCs? I do love all of the different... I mean, I am making an entire enamel pin series based on sibling relationships. I do quite like the sibling relationship explorations. They are very interesting. I like exploring the familial relationships. I feel like in Warrior Cats, I wish they would do a little bit more with it. When I was doing the enamel pin designs, I kind of realized that there was not really that many choices for like a sibling pair that went evil together. Other than, I guess, kind of Fognose, Splashtail, or like Podlight and Curlfeather, but they're not like a dastardly duo type of thing. It's just like they both happen to be antagonists. Like it's not really like a main part of their storylines that they're evil together, you know? I kind of wish that there was more of that. It's kind of a slept-on dynamic in Warrior Cats, I feel. The only books I enjoyed rereading is Thunder, Wind, and Star. Thunder is a really good read. I think that Thunder's the best book out of that arc. Hey, Amber. Older Spark Pin. I actually wanted to tell you, like, guys, that the Older Spark Pin was the hardest one to Pantone pick. I had to do some work with Alder to get him Pantone friendly. He got a little adjusted. I think he still turned out fine. Like, he's still satisfactory to me, but he took some time. Took a lot of brain power. How do I pass my animation from Adobe Animate to Clip Studio? I export it as a PNG sequence and then import it into Clip Studio Paint picture by picture. And if you do there are easy ways to convert each of those pictures into frames in Clip Studio. I believe it's called batch specify cells. But yeah, I export as a PNG sequence and then import it that way. And exporting into a PNG sequence is also how I will export the finished animation into Adobe After Effects. Okay, just adjusting a little bit. Okay, I need to actually do the back marking on this frame. You kind of made up the whole... Well... Why do you think that he's... Why do you have to give it up? Because it seemed like... I remember reading it, and it seemed like that was kind of the dynamic that they were going with in the teaser. Or do you think that when he said... Because he says, like, the cats he cared about the most. Hey, Galaxy. Okay. I think that's fine. I don't remember what her tail looks like. Okay, so it just has the two stripes at the top of it. And then we'll do this one. Elder Moss Pelt. My new design for Moss Pelt and her Elder headshot. Ooh, nice. By Darktail. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like they would never put 2 LGBT reps in a single book. We should... That'd be crazy, though. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying. I feel like they probably will go with, like, he loved him like a brother. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, October. I'm like, they like doing the absolute bare minimum and sometimes not even that. I'm happy Soul's in the book. I feel like they're gonna try to shoehorn in a lot of characters into this book. I really think that it's gonna be like a cameo central or something like that. Like they'll try to shoehorn as many like popular characters as they can into the book. It'll be interesting to see. Guys, I'm gonna put on my bingo card that Darktail kills Soul. What do you guys think about that one? I feel like I might put that on my bingo card. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, Soul never died. Well, maybe they'll finally give him an on-screen thingamabob. Wanting to host a Maple Shade map? If, I mean, you might as well just host it, right? But you could also do your own projects, too, if you're worried. Like, you could do some stuff to... I don't know. I was gonna host a map this year, but I kind of am feeling a little burnt out. We'll see, we'll see. Life's come at me quick. I feel like I've been hit by a freight train a couple of times. The last couple of weeks. No, I haven't. I have not been checking like any Discords. I did not bring my laptop camping. Did not bring my laptop on vacation. Today is the first time I've opened up this computer I'm drawing on since the last time I streamed. I have been touching and mowing so much grass. It's very nice outside. It's no longer like oppressively humidity and hot here. I don't know how to not copyright from my music. What I usually do is I will rip the song. I'll upload it privately to my YouTube and see if it gets copyright claimed. It will get copyright claimed, but I'm basically just checking to see if the visibility, because you don't make money from hosting maps. You don't. No one's getting paid. I mean, the music person is, but none of the artists or the map poster is getting paid. I'm just checking to make sure that I can actually upload a video with the song to my channel without it going dark, like without it getting removed or like not being able to be viewed in a certain country. just been excited to actually be working on warrior stuff consistently. I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna absorb your energy. So you can apply. Hey, yeah. Ooh, Galaxy, this is really cool. I really like that mask that you just sent. I'm not gonna watch the video on stream though. I'll have to watch it afterward. Using Hamilton. Well, music is gonna get copyright claimed. That's just how it works. But, I mostly just care about the visibility. People you don't animate maps for money. You animate them for fun. Storyboarding medieval warriors they use. That's really cool. I'm gonna have to look at it later. So does copyright make your video go silent? No. So, copywriting just means that any ads that play on the video is going to, it's not going to the person that posted the video. So, for example, Everything Moves, the Soul map. I'm sure that if you watch it, you'll get an ad, right? But the ad revenue is not going towards me. None of the ad revenue is going towards me at all. It's not on revenue sharing or anything. It's all going towards the producers of the music. So the Bronze Radio Return producers is getting every single cent of ad revenue from that video. There are different levels of copyright claiming. There are copyright claiming where sometimes you can do shared revenue, which is usually like a 50-50. I've never personally seen that on any of my videos. There are copyright claims. If you get copyright claimed, that is when the video goes down. But that doesn't usually happen with music. Most of the times, if you get a copyright claim on a music, it's like an automatic copyright. But anyway, I just test it. I upload it to a YouTube unlisted first. And see what it does. Talking about copyright. Yeah. It's just a game you have to play on YouTube. There are very few videos that I make money on my channel. I make money on the streams. I don't know if there's any. I don't know. I make peanuts on YouTube because I don't really use YouTube to generate income. Any tips for animating? Have fun with it. Definitely look up the animation. There's like a couple of principles you can look up very easily. If you're just starting out, that'll give you a nice little frame of reference. To like get starting to think the right way. But just have fun with it. And don't beat yourself up too hard, because animating is very hard, and it's a lifelong learning process in my experience. trying to learn horse anatomy. That's one of the hardest ones to learn, I believe. I know that there's something going around that's like if you learn how to animate a horse, you've learned how to animate anything. It's like a... They're just very hard to just draw and understand, let alone like move. So you definitely picked a hard animal to animate or to learn. Okay. That one needs to be moved back one. Okay. What did I just draw? I guess this one? I guess so. This is 3B. Which cat is Leafpool walking up to? It is Moth Flight. This is a scene from Squirrel Flight Soap. So she's standing up for herself during the trial scene. Okay, let's get the next one in there. Okay. You trained me. Okay. You don't have to. I do have a problem. My account is not verified, so I won't have a thumbnail. That doesn't matter. But yeah, you can always join. There's plenty of projects that are open to join. I have an idea I'd really like to somehow bring to fruition of making it easier to put people in front of projects of varying that need finished or need backups and stuff like that. That I would really love to get made one day. That would make it easier for people to filter specific projects that they're looking for, whether it be I'm looking for something within the 1st through 4th arc, or I'm looking for something that doesn't have a storyboard, or I'm looking for something that needs backups, or maybe it needs specifically like people to do backgrounds on. I'm looking for a specific character, maybe I don't want a script, no set designs, etc. I'd like to make it easier to put people in front of projects that are exactly what they're looking for, that the YouTube algorithm does not do anymore. Get around to posting PMVs. That community update. Yeah. I would love to be able to get something that we can use to help finish projects. Because there are people that want to host projects, and then there's people that are like, I don't even know how to join. I've had a couple people ask me that, like, hey, how do people join projects anymore? I can't find any on YouTube, etc. And I'm like, a lot of the times I find MAParts in Discords of other projects. Like if there's an advertisement channel where people are posting their calls. But if you're just starting and you're not even in a single Discord, I don't think that that's the best way to find a project. I feel like there needs to be something that's public. I don't agree with putting things in a Discord. I mean, obviously I like hosting maps on Discord, but that's just for an ease as a hoster to be able to check in with my participants and make sure that everyone is kind of going at the same pace as everybody else. But it's not very new person friendly. And I don't have a massive Discord that I host all of my projects on. I just use a Discord per project, and then after that project is done, it kind of just... I mean, there's no use for the Discord anymore. I wish to post my things anonymously. Yeah, I feel ya. It can be stressful. I mean, I don't look at many comments on my things. I kind of just post and leave. I kind of like post and dash on every single social media. My streams are really the only real interaction I have with you guys. I do that for my mental health. A PMV is a picture, music, video. They tend to be limited animation to no animation, and then they can also have the lyrics appear on screen, but it is not necessary. They're a little bit more, they're a smaller mountain to climb if you're working on a project by yourself than like a fully fledged animated thing. Post and dash. That's what I've been doing for the past quite a few years. I am of the mind that social media has done nothing to further our society other than to make us angry and to make people feel like it's very impersonal and they just are there. It's just there to keep you depressed and everything, and it doesn't promote trying to better yourself at all. So that's why I am not on social media. And I am much happier for it. I did lose my entire... I lost a good few years of my life to it, though, unfortunately, before I realized that. See ya, shark. Somebody joined my Samson Map Discord and sent a message asking if I would give him the server. Whoa, that's weird. I've never had that happen before. I don't have public servers, though. When I do maps, it's just if you're a backup and or a participant, you get the... I don't do, like, watcher. I don't do spectators. Yeah, I think I accidentally I think I scheduled ads for this stream. I scheduled them for every 30 minutes. Disclosing that. Leopardfoot and Yellowfang PMV? That's a really interesting combo. It does make a lot of sense, though. Okay, this is a little off. I'm no longer cutting it. When I try to host a map, I get no attention. Sometimes, I know for me personally, a lot of the times I'll find a map because somebody posted a part of it. And, so maybe you might want to try doing a part for your own map and, like, posting it. And, like, people will see that it's being worked on and then they'll be like, oh, I want to join. That could be an option for you. I know that as a hoster, you do tend to do a lot of parts. You either like pitch in a little bit here and there, or you do full parts. In my personal experience. Yeah. I've never had an Instagram, and I don't use my Twitter. And when I do, I just post on it and leave. I don't even check my notifications. Tumblr is chill, but it's not a hugely reaching. It's a pretty niche social media platform. Do you need a Discord for most maps? That's something that I would love to be able, like, if I do that website where you can, like, do a search, you can kind of, like, filter your searches. I would love to have a filter that says that there's no Discord required for a project. Because a lot of people do ask that. And I know that me, personally, having hosted a maps before and after Discord was standard, it's a lot easier to host maps on Discord than it was when it was on YouTube. When it was on YouTube, you still kind of like had most of your participants on Skype and stuff, but you didn't have full servers dedicated to just the project. But I personally really like having channels to like check in on people, channels to help people get connected to folks that would like to help, or like lend a helping hand to somebody that might be a little stuck and just wants somebody to bounce a shot off of and stuff like that. I've met a lot of really great people. The YouTube algorithms against it. Yeah, they are. Especially for like calls, I feel like. They'll it'll recommend me finished maps, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I was never very good. I would say that the majority of maps that I joined, I would always join as a backup. I was very bad at finding like new projects that weren't my friends. Do you need to animate good for maps? No. There are PMV multi-artist projects and stuff like that. There are beginner, like, I don't know. Stupid bots on Tumblr are bad. Yeah, I feel like that's everywhere though, unfortunately. Map calls from like 5 years ago. Yeah, that's what I've noticed too. I would like to get that project going one day. I feel like it's something that would help the community. Just an ease of access tool to help people lend to have fun with projects again, I guess. Let me turn off the roughs and see how it's doing. Okay, so when she steps up, you're mostly just looking at her face. So I'm not gonna worry about... There's definitely a little thing on her hair that's catching me, but it's not too bad. But it's definitely glitching right there. So hold on. It's right there. That frame. I always wanted a Brother Firepaw and Greypaw map. Where cuts open maps that was updated. Yeah, there's also... I think there's an Excel spreadsheet going around that I think might have some map calls and stuff. I don't know how frequently it's updated, and I think it mostly tracks finished projects as well. Okay. If I'm searching for map calls / more artists to follow, I'll look at somebody I already follow's recent map parts and look up those maps and look into people participating. Yeah, it's kind of a... checking your subscription feed once you're... Yeah, you have to follow active people. For sure. And it's very easy... I mean, but it's a lot of work. I feel like it shouldn't be as much work, you know? What is Art Fight? It's a art kind of gifting game that happens in July every year, where you post your characters on the website and you join a team, and then people fight you by drawing your character. Ivy Pool with wings? Ooh, that's fun. Okay, I believe the red is what I want to go for. I think the red is when I change the hair to be blowing in the wind. So the red is what I want to look at and draw from. I honestly, I can't remember if this is the case, but I feel like even back in the day, it was kind of hard to find calls. You had to subscribe to people that were continually posting projects. I feel like. Even back in like 2015 and stuff, I would find projects because people would post a part on it. And then I would find the project and apply. There was very, very few times where I got a part right off the bat. And typically if I did, it was a friend that was hosting. So I would get it posted to me in my like DMs, and my friend would let me pick the part I wanted. And then that's still the case to this day, because that's why I have this part in this project. It's because Dreamy was like, pick a part, and then I picked a part. Besides, no one ever seen the map. I need a storyboard. You don't need a storyboard or a background guide. The project, this map part that I'm working on right now didn't have a background guide or a storyboard. It is definitely 100% not required at all. Like her diva eyeliner? I do quite like her eyeliner. I give my cats eyeliner because I'm too scared to wear any myself. So therefore, I will give the cats their best life and live vicariously through them. Okay, I'm gonna shrink this a little bit. How do they know what background should look like? So for this project in particular, typically what would happen is the first couple parts will be finished, and if you're first, you kind of get to decide what other people do for backgrounds. So I just ran by Dreamy what I was thinking of doing for the background, and she was like, yes, looks good. But also, you don't have to follow it. As somebody that likes doing backgrounds and stuff, usually backgrounds don't really... I mean, it helps with the continuity, but they're not usually that required to, like, follow the story, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it leads to less cohesion, but at the same time, I don't know. Not everything has to be super cohesive. I mean, we're all just here to draw fun cats. And even as a hoster, if you don't want to draw backgrounds, you don't have to draw backgrounds. It's all for fun. See, I actually don't join mini-maps that have storyboards because I like drawing the storyboard. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite parts of doing map parts is designing the storyboard. But there are people like you, Irumi, that do like just animating anything. They just want to have the storyboard set because they just want to animate the shot. And that's also completely understandable. So I was kind of gonna meet in the middle and maybe board a couple of parts for my next project, but then leave the majority of them unboarded. Just to make everyone a little happier, but... Hey Leah, thank you. Motivation's hard when animating. It is. It is very hard. This part right here that I'm doing is the part that I always end up losing a lot of motivation for. What helps me is calling with friends while you're working on it. Streaming helps work on it. You guys are like my friends. Also, sometimes just watching a movie or a TV show helps for me. Like doing some busy work. Yeah, having somebody like to show it to you, like that you can show it off to while you're working on it, that can help motivate you a lot. Back in 2015 and stuff in the community, we animated a lot together. It would be kind of like Discord calls, where we'd all just kind of sit down and like draw whatever we wanted for the day. And we'd all kind of work on projects together and keep each other motivated and stuff like that. It is very hard to keep yourself motivated when you're just by yourself. That's another thing I think helps with the Discords, is that you have a group of people you can share to that are also motivated to like finish the project. And I don't know. I think that the Discords help keep motivation up for projects to finish faster. Making my partner keep a Discord stream of me working on it while he's at work. It does help. Just having one person that you know is watching you, that if you decide that you don't want, like, that you decide to slack off, that you're like, oh, well, they're gonna watch me. It's very helpful. I feel like that's why it's very helpful to, like, be, as an artist, to be in an environment where you're, like, working with a bunch of people in person. Because then you guys are all working together. I just think that being with other people is very motivating. That's why I'm always glad when you guys say, hey, I'm animating with you. Because I'm like, I'm glad. Reddit stories? Yeah. I watch a lot of video essays when I'm, like, drawing by myself. It doesn't have to be just animating. But just drawing by myself, I end up watching a lot of, like, video essays and everything. My problem with using my stream is I'm too much of a yapper. You do talk quite a bit. I appreciate it, though. But I am always okay with just having lurkers. That is how I use streams, after all. I'm much more of a lurker when I'm, like, watching YouTube, when I'm watching, like, Twitch streams and YouTube streams. Okay. The diamond kind of gets brought up a little bit. While working and having that restriction can help me get to it. I feel you. Do I have any background designs? I do. I do have some of the camps designed. And I have had people ask if they can use them for projects, which I'm perfectly okay with. I'm okay with using my designs for pretty much anything Warriors related, except for anything not safe for work. That makes me extremely uncomfortable. But like any map parts, if you wanted to use the camp designs, and you just don't feel like designing it yourself, feel free. I also let people use my designs to make merchandise, but I would love to have a piece of it. I'm like, yeah, but you better be sending me a part. Alrighty. I need to get like a P.O. box or something. Nah. My biggest helper in motivation is getting diagnosed and medicated for ADHD. Oh, that's really exciting. That's not hard to do, right? Oh, I'm happy for you. How many frames do I have left of this after I get this one done? ThunderClan Forest. Yeah, I only have... Okay, so you're in the old lake. or you're in the old territories. So really I only have like the ThunderClan camp. I don't know if I have any ThunderClan forest pictures. In Turkey? Oh man, I need to go visit Turkey. Sounds like Turkey's got warrior cats art. I have RiverClan camp and I have ThunderClan camp. Mothermouth is technically in the little pistol animatic. And so is the river. I do kind of think it'd be fun to do, like, Barley's farm as, like, a landscape thing. There's, like, a couple of spots. I would love to do Sunning Rocks as, like, a print. You can show me later. Can I get... I got the back views. The cat's head hair in the back. Yeah. I think what I usually did... I think... For Leafpool, I think it just goes like this. Like, it's usually just like this. And, like, here's the hair. And the little tuffy. Sometimes I put a little braid. Or a little knot. And then for squirrel, it'd be the same. I'm pretty sure I just do something like that. Yeah, I can put a back view in there. Would you put the RiverClan or ThunderClan cats on the Sunning Rocks? Ooh, I could do a battle. This one. I was thinking of maybe doing a battle. Maybe doing like the prologue battle or something. That one would be at night though. I don't know. I could do the Sunning Rocks battle that's like Blue Paw versus Snowpaw and stuff, and do one that's like Pine Star's in charge. Dia would love that. That would be Dia's pick for sure. It would love that. Okay. Dangerous Path battle, yeah. I don't know. I think that the Sunning Rocks is in the Little Pistol animatic. So I guess I might have to do something with it. One with RiverClan and one with ThunderClan. BG is the same, just the cat swapped. That'd be fun. I have to have one with Warrior Clan on it as well. For the true warrior heads. Okay, that's 1, 2... Okay, there's still a decent amount of frames left, unfortunately. Let's get another one down. Monkey Star finally gets her due. People would find... Well, actually, that's the thing, right? Is that somebody asked for a Warriors Clan camp, but I think, isn't it on Sunning Rocks? Isn't there camp on Sunning Rocks? I feel like it is. So that would be like the Sunning Rocks picture that no one asked for, except for like 3 people. Day is ThunderClan, night is RiverClan. That would be fun. I feel like the most iconic Sunning Rocks battle is that battle in the prologue, though. Or like the Red Tail. Well, the prologue battle is not the Red Tail battle, but the one that Red Tail goes away in. Are we rereading Great Stripes Vow, so I'll re-find out? Oh, yeah. That is pretty soon. Because I think it's in between, like, Darkness Within and A Place of No Stars. Do you know sites to learn animation? I learned all my animation on YouTube, I'm not gonna lie. Holy crap. Calm down, dude. But yeah, I think I learned, I mean, I didn't go to animation school, so all of my animation I learned mainly was on YouTube. And then just like looking up, I do have a couple animation books. I have the animation principles or something. What's it called? The Animator Survival Kit. And then, oh goodness, what else do I have down there? Cartoon animation by Preston Blair. And then I have a couple of portable film school books for shots. I have a storyboarding book. It's like the art of storyboarding. Yeah. Probably not midnight. I'm probably gonna end stream in like 20-ish minutes. I don't want to burn myself out too much by streaming for that much longer. I will be back on Thursday, though. You have the survival guide? Yeah, the Animator Survival Kit. That one is, like, the first one that shows up when people say, get this book. Friend is starting Darkness Within. That's, like, I think that's my least favorite book of the arc. Darkness Within is kind of hard to get through for me. Survival Kit remains peak. All right. Well, now I feel comfortable suggesting it as Amber is an actual professional animator. So if she likes it, then that means that it must be pretty good. No, you're fine, Amber. They were just really hoping to get that question answered. You can ignore the part in the beginning where Richard Williams suggests working in complete silence. That part's whack. That is pretty crazy. That's some dedication. I feel like that is very, like, a fine arts mind, though, working in complete silence. So that the tone of your piece is not interrupted too much by your choice of music, leading to undesirable outcomes or something, I don't know. And my eyebrows have never been higher. Fair enough. Okay. I actually kind of will do that. And then the foot comes down. You're in between contracts. Here's hoping that it does not stay that way for long. I'm sending you nice, good job vibes. I was wondering if there's an order of composition for the trial cats. I just made it up. I can send you, if you ping me in like the helper part of that Discord Irumi, and I can do like a really quick map of where I put all the cats. Pretty stable. If I get approved for unemployment, enjoy working. Yeah. I feel like life is just a little bit easier when you have a job. It's a little easier to plan for the future. Yeah, no problem. I'm excited for this map. I didn't realize that the song was so long. I didn't realize that it was like a 5 or 6 minute long song. It's looking super great though. Very exciting. I like how it blends like an old, like the traditional Leafpool kind of map story, like the Leafpool story with the newer part. I think it does it pretty well. It feels like a classic project where there's not too much, it's kind of like low, just put as much effort as you want into it. It's kind of chill. People helping out each other. Feels really good. Feels like a community project, which it is. Definitely reminded me that I really appreciate how much we all like kind of help each other improve and create things that we can't really do on our own. I think it's a very unique thing we have in this community, so I would hate for it to go away. Hope to be a professional animator, get through college. I believe in you. Okay, her nose doesn't really move that much. She kind of is starting to pull her head up. The industry is terrible at the moment. I have hope that it'll renaissance a little bit. I don't know. It might be blind hope, but it seems like it could. I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, for sure. Okay. After this part is done, what's the next shot? The next shot is just some blowing in the wind, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. Although I thought this part would take less time than it is going to. Or this shot at least, so we'll see. We will see. I'm excited to do the compositing in this shot because I'm gonna have to this actually takes place during the nighttime, so it'll be my first time trying in After Effects to color correct so heavily character design. So it might be a bit of a headache, but I am very much willing to learn, so hopefully I get through it without getting too frustrated. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, her ear disappears, so let's get the ear fixed. I'm trying to draw Red-tailed Deer. I will tell you, it is extremely... It's one of the most... I find that drawing like a cat that's unconscious or passed away is one of the hardest poses to draw for me. Without it feeling like it's the Family Guy death pose or something. It's a very hard pose. Her foot is officially on the ground. You tried Toon Boom in one of your classes and you liked it? I think it's the industry standard, right? Nowadays. I'll go for about another 15 minutes, I think. And then I have other obligations. Do you learn a lot of 3D in college for animation? I know that in my school, the animation program, I didn't go to an art school, but in my state university, the animation program was specifically 3D. I don't think that we had a 2D animation program. I use TV Paint. I know a couple of my friends like TV Paint a lot. It is their preferred animation program. I feel like your preferred program, it just depends on who you are. I feel like any program can animate. There are obviously ones that are easier to animate in than others, but I come from a generation where the majority of us started with Windows Movie Maker and MS Paint, so I am of the mind that you can animate on any program if you have enough desire to animate on it. Toon Boom's industry standard, Scene TV Paint, an occasional moho. Yeah, moho's been being advertised to me on YouTube, actually. But I genuinely never really hear of anyone using it over here. I think, was Arcane? No, Arcane's 3D, right? I can't remember. I've never seen it. Asking for Photoshop or Clip Studio, though I can't recall if I've seen any paid ones. Moho's more for puppet animation. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. An on-animate project from older studios. Yeah. Animate is definitely not standard anymore. I don't think it's ever been standard. Well, it used to be. I wasn't the SpongeBob SquarePants the first movie animated in Adobe Flash? Is that not crazy? It's pretty crazy. Hey, silly. You're animating along with me. Good luck. Good luck. I hope it's coming easy for you. In the industry of animation, we can work from home. I do know that there are some projects that are... I think a lot of indie projects are like that. Like, I'm pretty sure that all of Has Been Hotel and stuff is animated like people work at home. Like, I don't think that there's a studio you can go to. So I think a lot of indie projects work like that. Animate stuff was a standard for like 10 to 15 years. The Friendship is Magic, Teen Titans Go were all anime, even through the beginning of the Toon Boom pivot. Okay. She's moving. She will finally stop moving. Eventually. I'll do one more frame and then I'll probably have to call it here. The thing about cleaning up animation, which I'm glad I don't do as my job, like cleaning up 2D, and I don't think I could do it as a job, is that it does a number on my wrist. I think out of everything that I do, cleaning up the animation is the hardest on my wrist. I think, and then out of everything that I draw, I think that cleaning up like this would probably, this type of work right here would be the only reason I would want like a screen tablet. She will find ways. Have you animated Mothlight? Not yet. Nope, still working on Leafpool. Her ruffs are animated, she just hasn't been cleaned up. She's got all of her tie downs and everything, I just have to clean up her stuff. Animating with my screen tablet. Yeah, I definitely understand why people would want to clean up on a screen tablet. I personally never feel... I never feel like I want a screen tablet except for when I'm doing stuff like this. When I'm cleaning up bitmap, when I was doing anime, I was working in vector lines, so I could just like move the lines around. I don't know how to explain it. I just have to get used to like having less clean lines, sketchier, etc. But my tails always end up a lot more sketchier on my cleanups because I just absolutely am terrible at making them have a smooth first one line. Oh, actually those lines don't happen yet. Okay, I think that's all the black lines. Now I need the brown lines. Not born in the best. I feel like you could move to like France or the UK. I feel like have a decent animation industry, right? I might be wrong. I'm not sure how easy it is to like work not in this country that you are in Europe. I'm kind of a silly American when it comes to things like that, unfortunately. I wonder... Okay. Finish up this one. Don't get distracted. The previous audio. We're listening to Pikmin audio. Pikmin is my hyperfixation right now. I feel like I just cannot stop playing Pikmin. I just be Pikmining it up. It's one of those games where I'm like, I want to play Pikmin, and then I'll play the first one, and then I'll play the second one. I have to, like, marathon it. I have to play every single Pikmin back to back to back to back to back to enjoy the full experience. Which, thankfully, you can do on the Switch now, because every single one of the games is on the Switch. The French industry is snooty. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I would assume that anything in, in Paris would be really expensive. Well, that's a shame. Alrighty. Is that the only frame there? Yeah. Okay, so I did it in between all except for this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, which is just, these are just boil frames. Except for the head bounces slightly right here. So we're almost done. We can probably finish up the Leafpool animation next stream, I think. For sure. Her tail's down, her hair is starting to blow. We did a decent amount today. Any advice on how to get indie projects to pay? All I know is that I have a couple Discord. See, I'm not on social media, but I have a couple of Discords that have like jobs and opportunities channels that people will post like job opportunities that they see in various places. But yeah, LinkedIn is where I see a lot of them from. Here, I'll turn on the rough so that we can see what Mothlight's gonna look like. Yeah, her hair starts blowing and then she like pulls up her face, and then the next shot is a close-up on both of them right here. So it's a match cut, which means it's like the camera's in the same place, it's just zoomed in right here. She's almost done. She's definitely more done than not, which is always a nice thing to see. A lot of these are just regular, good old in-betweens. She should like stomp her foot down. Yeah, she does. I think it hits with the music. Oh, are you talking about Mothlight? Nah, for this shot, Leafpool's moving so much that I feel like the limited animation on Mothlight is good. I don't want too much to be moving that would take you away from Leafpool. So I'm okay with just how much she is moving in this shot. In the next shot, Mothlight's not really the main focus of this map or the part in general. It's more focused on Leafpool using Mothlight as a conduit of my life was great and I wouldn't do it any other way, and if you judge me, I was just following what you guys wanted me to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she stomps her foot down. You're not hearing the music, but she stomps it down on a beat, I believe. Yeah, so she pulls it up and then she stomps it down. It feels a little slower. The thing about Clip Studio that is another reason why I don't like doing my roughs in it, is that sometimes I feel like even though my animation is set at 24 FPS, it's going slower than it should be. But a couple streams ago, we did the whole entire roughs of her, where you can hear the roughs with the music. But this frame is only 2 frames long, and so it's like a quick stomp. And she pulls up her face, too. So the other thing is that her face is moving so much that when you're looking at this shot, you're mostly just focused on her face. So you don't really catch her foot stomping down as much because you're going to be looking at what her face is doing. So it's not really in your view. But yeah, she does stomp her foot down. Anyway, you guys, I think that's going to be it for me today. Sorry for a little bit of a short one. I'm kind of trying to get back into the grind of streaming again. It might take me a couple of streams to like work back up my stamina. Trying to get these plates spinning again. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. That's going to be the end of the stream for me today. And I will see you guys all on Thursday. Bye-bye. Thank you guys so much for watching, by the way. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.